No, that doesn't make sense.
It was full.
This one. You move this one. Yo, FTG, we here, we out here, Abel the 10th, fanciest fly god, and you know, our new member,
Bibolo.
you know the vibes. Yeah, you know we needed to, you know, add different aspects to Free the Goose. We were all niggas, but we wanted a hunt. You know what I'm saying?
You know the vibes.
And she's swaggy as hell. You see, she cool as hell. So yeah, and you know our special guest.
This is Moses, the owner of Vermi.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? Vermi, yo, bro, thank you so much for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? First things first, dog. Like, we respect your art, we respect your craft.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? We're very selective. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to picking people that come on this shit, you know.
Not just anyone.
Yeah, type
You
shit.
gotta be doing something.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me here, man. It's an honor.
That's love, brother. That's love, fam.
Yeah. So I guess we can open the interview by asking you, what does Free the Goose mean to you? What's your understanding of Free the Goose?
I think Free the Goose is a group of individuals who respect art, who want to build the creative industry in our country, who basically want to support us as creatives, give us a platform to be able to, you know, talk about our art, talk about the stuff we do, and, you know, just to be able to have interviews like this where people can watch and actually learn a lot from us. You know, learn a lot about the industry and what it takes to, you know, constantly create art that people love, and yeah, just for people to be able to learn all of that stuff. I feel like you guys are giving us the platform to be able to reach as many people as we can.
So I guess in relation to that question, it's important for us and the people that watch you to understand.
Yeah.
What's your definition of freedom? What does freedom mean to you?
What?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah, just like freedom in general. Like, what's that to you?
Having no boundaries, no limits, giving no fucks.
Straight up.
Yeah, freedom is like, you know, believing in yourself and understanding that, you know, there's no limit to where you can take it. You know, you just keep going regardless of what people say. You know, you just keep doing what you do. You know, you don't care what anyone has to say. You're free to express, you're free to think, because, you know, you don't care about what anyone has to say about what you do. That's what freedom is to me.
So like in correlation to that, like I've seen like you're pretty expressive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And your concepts are distinct, you know what I'm saying? You're like authentic. You seem like somebody that doesn't have bounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're in your zone, your creative zone type shit. You know?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the mind state you get into, like when you're
creating.
Yeah, when you're creating.
Well, I try not to make it complicated. It's just simple. Get to work.
Straight up.
Just do it. You know?
So there's no specific state of mind that you're in?
Nothing. Regardless of where I am, how I'm feeling, some work has to be done.
This nigga stone cold. Discipline. That's discipline, bro.
Yeah. Even when I'm at school, I can just, you know, sit down, be quiet, and just design. When I'm at home, I can just design. On our way to groove, I just design. Because I design on my phone.
For real.
Yeah. I'm always on go. I'm always working. Because I don't believe there's any mindset. Because if you believe that there's a mindset you have to work hard, it means you're saying, okay, you have to prepare yourself to work hard. You have to be able to work regardless.
It's a matter of action, bro.
Yeah, because also when you say to yourself, yo, I'm only gonna work hard on a specific mindset, it's like you saying you're only gonna work when you feel certain ways.
And that might make it feel like a task.
Exactly. And this for me is like something that allows me to express each and every one of my emotions.
You know what? This is like very reminiscent, because I know you used to hoop, right? This reminds me of this killer instinct, Kobe's killer instinct.
Yeah. The Mamba mentality.
The Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Real shit. Did you fuck with Kobe like that?
Yes, I did. I actually did fuck with Kobe. I fucked with his dedication to the game, his competitiveness, because I'm very competitive.
For real?
Yeah, I'm very competitive. Yeah, I just fucked with the mentality with him, you know, just wanting, always being on go, always being on beast mode, always wanting it, you know.
Anytime
and
it's tea time.
yeah, anytime it's tea time, just because whether he was sick, he was happy, he was sad, or whatever it is, he was always gonna go there and give it his all.
Where do you think you got that from?
I got that from my mom.
For real?
Yeah, my mom was extremely competitive. She was actually an artist.
Oh.
You lie.
I swear.
What sort of artist?
She like school.
Really?
She used to paint, yeah, all of that stuff. So I just took it from her from a very young age.
So not only like the drive, the tenacity, but also like the creativity.
Yep. Everything from her. And my grandmother.
For real?
Yeah.
What does she do?
She like makes these mats.
Like rugs.
Yeah, like rugs, sort of those things, but handmade. Even clothes, she has a machine, she makes clothes. So that's where I think I got it from.
Where you from?
I'm from Botswana.
Word.
Yeah, Mukalaka.
For real?
Yes, sir.
You gotta rep your set.
Yeah, thanks,
You know?
thanks, yeah.
Okay. So, in terms of just like where you are right now, I know you're a few years, if not like a year or so, into Vermi.
Yeah.
What do you think about like your growth, like just as a person, as a creative, as an artist, like reflecting from your first projects like till now?
Well, first of all, I'm actually like 4 years into Vermi.
Oh, really?
Because I spent 2 years of development. It's just 2 years of, okay, come up with an idea, then come up with a concept that you're gonna run with, that you love, right? And then last year, that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I can start printing now. I'm comfortable with the concept, with the ideas that I've come up with, and this is where I want to go.
Does it usually take a long time for you to become comfortable, like with seeing your designs through? Because you said it took you 2 years of development before you actually started.
Yeah. Well, now it does. Now, because it was a thing of, in that 2 years, I'd create and then, I'd come up with pieces, right? And then just go a long time without looking at them. Just to see, okay, as time goes on, how am I going to feel about this design? So now what I was doing is, I would say to myself, okay, I'm designing this thing here, and this is how this thing is making me feel while I'm designing it, while I'm looking at it. So now if I feel that same way, then I'll know, okay, this is gonna be hard. Because I believe that, you know, if I do something right now, if I work on a design right now and I look at that design and it makes me feel some type of way, if in the future I work on something else similar to that and it makes me feel that way, then for sure it's gonna give the same output.
So when you say ideas, what are you trying to evoke? Like when someone looks at your clothing, like specifically, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the POLACHANNEL for Vermi.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
Polar comes from polarized. And in physics, it has to do with like, when light moves, it moves in sort of different directions. Now polarizing it is making it move in one direction. But because I'm a Vermi, I'm a poisonous worm, it's the opposite. So now by me saying the opposite is me diverting from the original concept.
Of polarizing.
Of Vermi.
Of Vermi.
And
Okay.
giving you polarized, which is the opposite of Vermi. Yes, which is what I was trying to portray. And I'm going to continue giving you that.
You made this reference to physics.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're also like into, you know, school, for example. Yeah. Even earlier on, you told me at school, like, I have the same mindset, la la la. So you believe in formal education?
I believe everyone needs to know what's happening in the world.
Real shit.
I believe we need to understand the world that we live in and how it works. It doesn't have to be your source of income. It doesn't have to be what you do forever. But it's good to know, okay, this is how an earthquake can be detected. Or this is how, if this happens, this is what's supposed, you know, all of those things. And just like, you know, right now, physics something, you know, if someone studies physics, you expect them to, you know, be a physicist or some crazy thing. But yo, I'm getting my concepts from that and I'm flipping it into clothing. You know what I mean? So I just feel like, you know, I believe in educating yourself, because the more you educate yourself, the more sources of reference you have for whatever it is you're working on.
And it seems interesting how usually there's such a huge divide between art and your passion in school. And how you're drawing a connection between the two. Yeah,
I just feel like, you know, I always tell my friends that everything in your life that you love, that is meant for you, will always accommodate each other.
Spirit.
If you have two things that you love in your life, be it a person or whatever it is, and somehow these things can't accommodate each other, one of them is not for you. Because all of these things work they're sort of like builders. They work together to make a building. These things make you who you are. So if they're not working together, there's no you.
But it's also just like, bro, life exists, nature exists in a perfect balance.
Yeah.
Like everything you're feeling is like yin and yang, you know what I'm saying? Everything you're feeling is like for a reason, you know what I'm saying? The only reason you might be feeling low is because you might be feeling up eventually.
Exactly.
So it's this perfect balance, you know? So what you're basically saying is school and education never get in the way of your creative process and vice versa?
They never. They never get in the way of my creative process. Because there's a lot more you can learn from school. You know, concepts, gravity, you know. You can literally just flip everything about gravity and put it into a concept. Come up with something crazy and people are gonna love it.
Bro. Yeah. So in terms of just like the future of Vermi, okay, before we get there, what do you think about the BW creative scene?
I feel like it's lacking a lot of creativity. It lacks a lot of originality, and people, this is not a shot to anyone, people don't know how to distinguish.
This nigga's about to shoot. He's about to shoot. So it's not a shot to
This is not a shot to anyone, but you know, I feel like a lot of people are just, you know, lazy with their designs. And I feel like honestly in our country, a lot of the creatives are in school and they're saying fuck art. And all of the people who are not creative are saying fuck school, we're gonna, you know, create a design and sell this stuff. And you know, a lot of the stuff, half of the stuff that I've seen on the internet is not hot at all. I mean, I'm not one to say anything because everyone has that time. What I think is not nice now might be nice in 5 years.
Yeah, art is also just subjective.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, we need a lot more originality than what we have right now if we really want to go big. Because, you know, it's not about how big you are in the country, it's about how big you're going to be to the world. So now if you're doing something that Americans are already doing, by the time you reach there, they're going to be like...
You're just made, bro.
Yeah,
same
you know.
as everybody else type shit.
Exactly. So we need a lot more creativity.
So in correlation to that, like, what would you say you bring to the table? Like, what does Vermi bring to the table that other brands or other, you know, movements don't bring?
I feel like we bring a lot of storytelling in our pieces. Because a lot of the pieces speak to a lot of the stuff that I've been through, particularly when I was younger. You know, I used to be very naughty, so it speaks to a lot of that. And I feel like it's not just a t-shirt, it's a storyline. You know, if you collect Vermi tees from the first one to the current one, you've basically put a puzzle together. You know, a story together, a puzzle that's gonna keep going for as long as, you know, it keeps going. Yeah, that's what I feel like we bring to the table.
And I remember, like at the beginning, you also mentioned, you know, it took you 2 years, your creative process, and then you are like, I'm gonna finally start printing. Like, why printing? In particular, like I realized even through like your clothing, you haven't delved into like embroidery, say, and stuff like that. Like, why printing?
Because I feel like printing is more
versatile.
Yes, but I feel like printing is more. It portrays the pictures better in a better way, because embroidery is like, I mean, it's cool, but then it's for more simpler designs.
So you'd say it's a better medium?
Yes. I'd say, you know, with the printing, I can create something right now and I know, okay, this is exactly how it's gonna come out on the t-shirt. With embroidery, you know, it's a bit, you know, it's too restricting. You get what I mean? Because I want something where I can be able to put 5 colors on top of each other.
Because at the same time, you said you work from your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with embroidery, the designs are more simple, but I am gonna get into it, of course, because, you know, simplicity is key in some cases. So, but I feel like, you know, the printing is more flexible with me and my designs.
I remember you said your mother was an artist and your grandmother was into like crafts.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this since a young age.
Yeah, since a young age. Actually, when I was younger, I used to have a poor attention span, even up to now.
Bro, same.
Yeah.
Same.
So I used to struggle with, for example, coloring books. I'd never finish it. I'd just color one part and just throw that thing away. Yeah. So, but somehow, you know, art just kept following me. Even through high school, it kept following me. From 4, I actually wasn't supposed to do art, but somehow last minute I was like, you know what, I'll just do it.
Like as a subject?
Yeah, as a subject. And I ended up doing it, and you know, it was it's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
For real?
Yeah.
You could say that like it nurtured your, you know, creative headspace and stuff.
It taught me mostly how to manage projects.
So you don't think art as a subject in school is like
limiting?
Yeah,
limiting.
It doesn't close you off. Like, you don't have to do specific things. So some people can argue that doing art in school kills the creative process.
I don't think so, because the biggest fundamental that art in school teaches you is discipline, managing projects.
Yeah, but same as every other subject.
School. Exactly. School, the main fundamental beneath everything is discipline.
Yeah, resilience.
Exactly. So for me, especially me, someone who had a poor concentration span, my art teachers were always patient with me. Yo, you need to fix this. You need to do this. And not only did it help me with managing projects, it also helped me with my patience. Because then I got to understand that, okay, if I'm working on a project like this, I'm gonna have to be patient. I'm gonna need a certain amount of patience to be able to complete the project. You know what I mean? So I feel like it really helps. But for some people, of course, they feel they have different opinions. We're not the same. So yeah, I mean, they are right. You know, that's their opinion. I feel like, you know, if you feel like it's killing your creative process, then don't do it. But I feel like I needed it.
So tell me something. You mentioned that like your clothing, right? They tell a story.
Yeah.
Which would you say are your most personal or the ones in which you put a lot of emotions into, or like maybe like from your past experiences or just like present experiences?
Yeah. I feel like, damn. I feel like the first one, the channel one, because I released one with like the light spectrum. I mean the one of the 2 globes. Because I feel like that one was an introduction to everything, and as part of an introduction, it's like a summary of everything. So it's like a summary of like all of the emotions that I'm gonna put into Vermi moving forward. So I feel like it's the one that tells, from the ones I've released, it's the one that's more descriptive. But I have more coming that are gonna be very, very, very descriptive of a lot of stuff that goes on in my life.
So in terms of like emotions, what would you say are your main, you know, emotions? Like, because for example, this is like something that not everybody will agree with, but I personally feel like the best art comes from negative headspaces. Right?
Yeah.
Would you say the same?
Yeah, thanks. definitely.
So which sort of negative spaces have you been in that have pushed you to, you know, work on specific projects?
That's a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'd say, jeez. I'd have to say, I've worked on, by negative headspace, you mean like, just to make sure on the same page, you mean me having gone through something and being in a position where it's like, shit, I have to, okay. Well, currently, it's one of those because, you know, I just lost someone very important to me. So right now, I'm in one of those negative headspaces where it's like, you know, I have to go get it. And at the same time, it's not just that, but it's like because I'm an overthinker. So every time I'm in a negative space, I think about it even more negative space. So now it forces ideas out of me. It makes me want to express because expression is what's gonna help me at the end of the day. It helps me, you know, blow off some steam. Yeah. So I feel like that's the most prominent one today.
So that's for your upcoming projects.
Yeah, for my upcoming. But recently, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Yeah.
So designing is like meditative for you?
Yeah, very.
That's crazy.
I just closed because I remember you mentioned doing art.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like between art and designing clothes, which is more therapeutic for you?
I think both of them are the same because when I design clothes, I design. Okay, let me give an example with designs. The stuff that's gonna be printed on t-shirts. That's art. That's like drawing something. It's just that now you're making your own picture from scratch. You know what I mean? Your own thing with your own colors. With a lot of the art I used to do or I do when I draw is observation and all of that stuff. Even drawing from memory, trying to draw a banana. You know, okay, I have to use yellow. I have to use this or whatever. But this particularly, the only difference is that this now I'm bringing my own colors, my own shapes, my own, you know, everything. But both of them are the same.
You know, you seem pretty in tune with yourself, right? And you also mentioned that you're like an overthinker. Does that mean that you're also like an introvert to some extent?
Not really.
Really, just...
Yeah, I just... Probably, I mean, when I meet people for the first time or if I'm in a public space, it takes about 10 minutes.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I do. I'm the last one.
Really?
Yeah.
But you still feel this... Do you feel some sort of responsibility?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I've been given I'm one of the few people that have been given this creative talent. And it's our job to be able to make these pieces, express ourselves through these pieces so that people who don't know how to express themselves can heal through us. So it gives me a crazy, you know, it makes me feel like, you know, I'm
chosen.
Yes, I'm chosen. I have to do this and I have to do this because someone else is gonna go to Vermi, follow me, you know, because my art makes them feel happier or feel better.
That ties to the fact that you said you're a storyteller.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And you know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you told me that when you were a kid, you know, that attention span, it's like the kid is still inside you.
Yes, I'm talking to the kid every time I design.
For real?
Yes, I'm telling him, you're like this because you're gonna be a crazy designer. Because you're gonna be the GOAT.
So you think that's what like pushes you forward? It's the fact that you're still in tune with that, you know, inquisitiveness, you know, that a child may have.
I think it's that, and also the fact that I feel the responsibility. You know, I feel like I have to do this for someone else. The person could be here, they're watching this right now. They need someone who's gonna express themselves and help them, you know, heal from whatever it is they have to heal from through the art. Yeah.
I feel you, bro.
Yes, sir.
So tell me something. if you were in our shoes, right?
Yeah.
What questions would you ask yourself that we haven't already asked you?
Damn. Okay.
It's an interesting question.
I'd ask myself what Vermi means.
Especially for those who don't know.
Yes. And I'd ask myself what the aim of Vermi is, or what the final objective for Vermi is. And yeah, that's basically it. You guys have asked some really good questions.
No, answer those actually.
Okay, the first one was Vermi. Vermi is a poisonous worm.
Poisonous worm.
Yes. So the reason why I chose a poisonous worm of all the creatures I pick is because I see myself as a poisonous boy when I was younger. You know, young, naughty, and I think I had my own desk at the back of the class in standard 3, and then from 2.
That nigga say that's what's crazy, bro.
It was so crazy, but you know, it's just me thinking back at those times, even hearing stories from like my family. It's just like wow, you know, like I was like that, you know. So it's like, oh, you know, it's a very nice story to tell, to be able to tell people, yo, that's how it used to be. And if someone like you relates, it's like, wow, you know, this is how you are. So that's where Vermi mostly comes from, and that's where that's my main point of reference.
Oh, so would you say you're trying to create a safe space for those kids that are like poisonous, shall I say? Yeah,
let them know that, you know, that poison in you is something that's is what's gonna help you become great.
You can cultivate it.
Yes, like the way I'm doing it. Yeah. And the second question, what was the second question again?
Aims, objectives.
Oh, the objective. The answer is Vermi doesn't have a main objective, because I've told my friends many times that the most efficient or the best systems or the best things in this earth are things that are just like the earth, that are always changing.
Free flowing.
Yeah, free flowing. You know, spontaneous. So that's what Vermi is. Vermi is always changing. Vermi is free flowing. Vermi is spontaneous. And as a result of that, we're gonna have different objectives at different times.
That's some dope shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, like you think about this stuff a lot.
Yeah, I do.
I'm
an overthinker.
But that's cool, bro, because you're able to weave up all of these stories, all of that, bro. Look, bro, nonetheless, it was hella dope, dog. You know what I'm saying? Communicating with you, learning. Because, dog, even I learned so much. Not only about Vermi, but even just about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, bro, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Who knows? 10 years down the line, we might be having the same conversation in the Bahamas or something.
Exactly, you know?
Yeah, but bro, thank you so much, dog.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is Future Times.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It really means a lot, you know, you guys inviting me and allowing me to, you know, to talk. And I'm really proud of what you guys are doing.
That's love, bro. Hey, yo, guys. Check my boy out, VERMICHANNEL. That's the name, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, VERMICHANNEL together.
POLACHANNEL as well.
Everything. Find him Instagram. That's your platform.
Yeah.
Your platform.
Moses Nfana.
Nfana as well. Peep my boy out. And yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point, you know FTG will coming in strong. You guys know this. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless,
It's all love.
we out.